All right, let's go now to Sarah Michaels, who's live just outside the courtroom. Sarah.
Yeah, you guys, we are just outside the courtroom. People have been walking out. We've been seeing some people walking out with tears running down their face. The victim impact statements that we heard in court today, I can't emphasize this enough, were absolutely heartbreaking. We did hear from the family of Madison Baldwin. We have the attorney for the family here with us right now. You know, the last couple of months, we've had the privilege of speaking with these family members, and they've said to us that they felt that they didn't see any remorse from James and Jennifer Crumbley. It appeared today in court that they attempted to show some of that remorse today. Do you think that that was successful?
No, I thought, frankly, it was very shallow, especially Mrs. Crumbley, who tried to deflect everything on her son. She's blaming her son still, her son and the school district and everybody else, and not taking accountability for her own actions and her husband's actions. Same with him.
We heard from multiple parents who gave them their victim impact statements saying that we're not getting the full truth, seemingly referencing the school. James Crumbley talked today, one of the first times we've been able to hear from him, and he looked to the parents and said, I want to hear the truth too. I haven't heard that either. The judge did not seem to agree with that. Neither did the prosecutor. What did you think about that?
I think Mr. Muir and Mr. Crumbley are dead on. We haven't heard the complete truth. We haven't gotten complete justice. We've gotten 2/3 of the measures of justice, but the school district and its administrators and employees have to be held accountable for what they did.
I mean, speaking just to that, Mr. Schilling and Mr. Muir as well, in the last couple of days, they have told us that this is just the beginning and that we're going to be seeing a lot more regarding the lawsuit for Oxford Public Schools. What can you share with us about that?
We will, after the appellate process, hopefully we'll be back getting discovery and putting these folks under oath for the first time to address the questions that the parents want answered, not that the prosecution is looking for, that the parents want.
Absolutely. And we did hear from some of those parents during the victim impact statements today talking about they have had to be in this courthouse so many times delivering different impact statements, rehashing all of this tragedy and trauma. For Madison Baldwin's family, were you able to have a discussion about having to get another statement, having to talk to the parents in the court one more time? Did it bring any closure, or is it just more difficult every time they have to do this?
I think on behalf of Madison's mom and the other families, it is continuing to be difficult. You have to relive this. It's gut-wrenching. And you heard Nicole's statement. It couldn't have been more powerful and more heartfelt. But it's gut-wrenching to hear and imagine having to deliver it in a courtroom full of people when that's not who they are. They're just normal private folks.
Nicole gave that first victim impact statement today. And it was hard not to tear up when you were listening to her. She talked about how the day of the shooting, what James and Jennifer were going through, and then the juxtaposition to what she was going through, detailing, trying to find out what hospital her daughter was in. It's hard to talk about now. It's really emotional hearing from her.
It was emotional to listen to it. I was in tears. When you talk about exactly the juxtaposition of what the parents were doing and the complete opposite of how it was felt with being a true victim, not the victims that the Crumbleys portray themselves to be. But that's just gut-wrenching.
Multiple parents the last couple of weeks have told us personally how disappointed and how upset they are. I think actually that Madison Baldwin's family called it disgusting how Jennifer Crumbley said that she wouldn't do anything differently if she could go back. Interestingly, today it seemed as though she tried to backtrack on that and say that people misunderstood her during her trial. Do you think that she was misunderstood during her trial?
No, I think what came out on video under oath was exactly what she felt at the time, and only in retrospect that it's gotten such backlash as she tried to backtrack. That was who she was.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. There are still some parents who are inside of the courtroom right now. In addition to the parents of the victims, we also heard from Hannah St. Juliana's older sister. That was extremely powerful testimony. She looked James and Jennifer Crumbley in the eye, and she said that you are responsible for buying the bullets and providing the gun that killed my sister. She talked about how it's hard for her to even find happiness ever since then because her sister was happiness. We heard from the other parents saying that it's hard for them to sleep at night. It's hard for them to handle their emotions, that people say that time heals all, but it has not healed anything for them. Like I said, a few more of those family members are still inside the courthouse. We're going to stay here hoping to hear from them once again, but just an extremely emotional day here in court, you guys.